Guys, raygreycosplay here. Today I'm going to be working on my League of Legends True Damage cosplay, as you can see down here. I'm just going to be working on the detail parts, and yeah, I'll try to explain as I go. For today's project, I'm going to be using a material called Worbla. It's a thermoplastic that you can heat up and form. It becomes pliable when heat is applied, so you can bend and shape it. There's 3 ways that you can work with Worbla. The Play-Doh method, basically what you do is you heat it up. Like I said, it's pliable now. So you would take it apart and you would literally roll it like Play-Doh. There is the sandwich method, whereas you take 2 pieces of Worbla and you would heat and sandwich them between a piece of foam. Or there's the fold-over method, where you attach it and then you would fold the little back parts. You fold the little crevices over onto the foam. Fold it. I'll show you guys just a quick little rundown on how each of those works. Here you can see how it's malleable. See how it just bends and flops around. So for the Play-Doh method, basically just want to roll it around. Like, be careful because this stuff does heat up pretty immensely. I'm used to using it, so I don't have a lot of feeling in my fingertips anymore. Be careful that your heat isn't too high, because A, you don't want to burn yourself, and B, you don't want to burn the Worbla. If you have it too high, then you actually get bubbles when you're doing like the sandwich mode and things like that. Let's see how you basically can play with it like Play-Doh. Let me see it. And you get it really nice and warm. You can shape it and mold it. Stretch it out. You want to keep reapplying some heat. The warmer it is, the more pliable it is. I'm using this technique so I can stretch out the Worbla and shape it to what I want. So, for the sandwich method, you take 2 pieces of Worbla and whatever your foam part is that you're doing. With Worbla, there is a shiny side, and then there's a non-shiny side. What you want to do is you want to heat them up, and you want to put the foam on the shiny side. So, and then you just add that to the shiny side. If you feel like you need to, you can wear heat gloves. Also, when working, it's best to use either wood or like a baking sheet with some parchment paper on it, or aluminum foil, because if you use glass, you will heat it up too much and you will shatter the glass. I've shattered a couple tables on accident that way. So you want to pinch the 2 together, again, shiny sides together, and so the rough sides are on the outside. As you can see, when you heat it up, you can run your nail or a tool around. And then I just cut off the excess. You can use a Dremel tool after the fact to kind of sand down your edges to make sure everything's nice and smooth. But there you have it. And that's the sandwich method. Fold over technique. It's different than the sandwiching technique because you only need half the amount of Worbla. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to heat up your Worbla again. I like to heat up both sides to distribute the heat evenly. So when you have it heated up, you want to put your foam face down to the shiny side. And this time, we are going to fold over instead. I don't know if you can see that. We're bending the pieces over. And then you get these little like pointed table parts up. Tiny extra parts, I would just snip those suckers right off. Again, you can use the Dremel on the edges if you want to kind of clean everything up. But with the fold method, it's actually a lot more malleable, so you can bend it a little bit easier. With the fold method, a lot of times it's for saving on Worbla because you don't necessarily want to fill something that you're not going to see, right? And waste all that extra material. That's the fold method. Now, what do I do with all the extra scraps now that I cut a whole bunch of stuff off, you said? Oh, I don't want to waste it. That's money down the drain. Well, don't you worry, friend. That is where the Play-Doh method comes in. Because you can take all your scrap parts and heat them up and then form them into something else, like I was doing with the Play-Doh method. It doesn't have to start off as a sheet. You can actually take all of your scraps. I usually save all of them, and then I just mix them all back together. You can also, I've done this before, you can put them on a baking sheet with parchment paper and put it in the oven, and it'll melt down, and you can roll it out with a rolling pin. I always suggest using parchment paper, because if you don't, it will stick to your metal pan. And that's the problem.